Good morning, all of you. So today we'll be discussing about some theory on the variation of resistance of a conductor with the temperature. Then some related numericals on that if they are with if the temperature varies with if the resistance varies with the temperature, and if they're connected series parallel, some related numericals. Then we'll go for different shape conductors, how to find effective resistance, some series parallel, some questions will work on that one. So first, so the topic will be temperature coefficient of resistance, then R for different shapes. So these things will try to work out, No temperature coefficient of resistance. Okay, if you take the conductor, so this conductor, so there is a cylindrical conductor I chosen. Let the area of cross section be, and I'll connect it across a cell. Now this end will be positive, this will be negative, and there will be an electric field is set up, and let's assume positive charge. What is the state of this positive charge? Will move in a zigzag path, and with the move in a zigzag path, and the net this will be the drift speed. We know all the basic from Ohm's law. We brought all the things, no? This will be, and there is no movement of positive charge. Will be moving. It will be only electron, but we assumed it a conventional current. So that will take like this. Now this is about all we know. Now what is the effect of the temperature on, on this resistance of conductor? And from the Ohm's law, what we wrote, that resistance rho equal to length L by A. And what is rho? Rho is called as resistivity of material. Resistivity of material, or it is also called as specific resistance. And it will be different for different materials. Resistance of two materials can be same, but specific resistance will happen, or the resistivity must be different here. The reciprocal of resistivity we call conductivity. So you do come across all the words. So you just once again have familiar. When it comes semiconductors, I define conductivity. Since we are discussing the resistor chapter, no, I'll focus more on the symbol rho, that one. So how they are related, the reciprocal of conductivity is what? Resistivity. They're the one overall relationship. Okay, now let me rise the temperature of this conductor. Then we know all objects will undergo thermal expansion. The length will increase, area of cross section increase. What will happen to the resistivity of material? As it is also going to change. The resistivity will vary the variation of most of the metals. So it's a books, they have given straight line. So it'll be a curve. We can put it. So almost for temperature change of 100 degrees, even the change in resistivity is so small that we can assume it to be a straight line. That's why in the book, what happened, instead of this curve, no, they just put a straight line. Nothing wrong. This one. So this will be the temperature in degrees Celsius. This will be the resistivity. So what's be the unit? Unit for resistivity, ohm meter. Then at 0 degrees Celsius, it will have some value rho naught. This will be the variation, this one. Actually, it will be a curve. For most of the metals, the variation is so small with the temperature, the resistivity, that we assume it to be almost a straight line. Even if they give curve also justified, means some books even they give curve like this. Nothing wrong, that one. but it should not start with zero. Zero resistivity of material not possible. At 0 degrees, it will have some resistivity that will starting with the rho naught. So there's a variation of resistivity. So what is actually resistivity? What actually it is? The resistivity itself depends on what? Depends upon tau, the and the eta. So if you can recollect the formula, so the resistivity, if you go back to the basic thing, no? So we derived an expression for the resistivity of material. I'll get you back the equation. Tau is equal to mass of electron by eta rho eta q square. This one. So this is what that eta. So you write it q square eta tau. Let's come for one by one. The resistivity is for different materials. What is the eta? Eta is concentration of free electrons. What do you mean by concentration of free electrons? It depends upon the atoms, the density of material like that. So concentration of free electrons. So that will be different for different material. What is a tau will be different for different material. That's why the resistivity will be different for different material. No, this itself is going to vary with the temperature, because we know as I increase the temperature, then due to thermal agitation, the outermost valence electrons, they'll get enough energy and they will become free electron. So what will happen to eta now? Yes, it will come into picture. Then similarly, what happened, tau will change. So altogether, at the increased temperature, the resistivity of material will increase. For most of the metals, it will increase. For semiconductors, the resistivity will decrease. For semiconductors, the resistivity will decrease. So what actually how do we can say? What is that rho? So if the resistivity increases, what should happen to resistance of conductor? Should increase. Means now at the increased temperature, indirectly shall I say that the resistance of conductor increases as the temperature increases, resistance of conductor increases. As the temperature increases, resistance of conductor increases. What do you mean by resistance? Shall I say that more collisions it will occur? Why do that more collisions? So we'll stick on to the conductor. The increased temperature, the thermal agitation of the free electrons will increase. What do you mean by thermal agitation? That particular motion, the random motion, the zigzag motion, that will further increase. So as it more zigzag path, more number of collisions will occur. More collisions means greater the resistance offered by the material to the flow of path. This is what happens here. So as you increase temperature, so what will happen to electrons? The atoms which are there, they'll start vibrating more rigorously about their mean position. Due to their more rigorous vibration, the electrons which are there, so what happen, will encounter more collisions. The zigzag path will further increase. More number of collisions will occur. Then more collisions means nothing but more resistance offered by the material to the flow of charge. So in this development, the resistance will increase. So that we are showing by practical proof like that. In fact, at a very temperature itself, the resistivity of material itself will change. The resistivity depends on what? Depends on eta and tau. As they'll get affected. The tau will decrease. The eta what happen will increase. So the product of these two is such that the resistivity will increase. So this is a practical thing. So nothing to do with at our level. We have just information. So practically what happened, they have seen the graph. It varies with the temperature. It increases with the temperature. This is for metals. Huh? What I'm discussing is for metals. So at atomic level, what happens as temperature increases, resistance of conductor increases. What is the reason there? What actually happens? The vibration of the atoms vibrate more rigorously about their respective mean positions. This is one thing. So we'll write note. Let me write it so that you can make observe. The atoms vibrate more rigorously about their respective mean position. The moving electron, the free electron you write here. The drifting electron, let me write. The drifting electrons encounter more collisions. This was all three. Any more than one option, they may ask you. You have to be careful here. So this particular alpha now, so I'll define now. The rest it is varying. No, so the ratio of that, anything that one. So here we'll define coefficient of thermal resistance. Alpha, this should be equal to delta R by R into delta theta. Like how we had linear expansion, coefficient of linear expansion. Similarly, coefficient of thermal resistance or thermal quotient of resistance. I think this, will follow the NCERT term. Again, you'll get confused. Thermal quotient of resistance. This alpha, let me use word R. If I bring all alpha theta, it is thermal quotient of linear expansion, thermal quotient of linear expansion. This is thermal quotient of resistance. So definitely the resistance will vary. There's a thing. So this delta R, if I expand it, R alpha delta theta, what is delta R? So this will be R dash minus R equal to R alpha delta theta. So R dash equal to R into 1 plus alpha delta theta. This is applicable only when delta T is alpha delta T, what happened practically alpha what happened will also be very small, that one. So here this particular formula, when you should apply that one. What should be the condition for delta T? Delta should be small, not like something very large. It's a very large, then you have to apply the formula alpha equal to dr by R dt. So how we define this quotient of thermal quotient of resistance? The change in resistance, it is defined as the ratio, defined as ratio of change in resistance per unit change in temperature per unit resistance. dr is what? Change in resistance per unit rise in temperature per resistance. So like this, what happened? We define thermal quotient of resistance, similar to quotient of thermal quotient of linear expansion. We define it. When to use this formula? When to use this formula? When to use this formula? I think in the quotient of thermal expansion, we do define the things like this, no? So when alpha is something variable, no, then you are going to take help of this condition. dr by dt is what? Slope it will become. Here what happened? This is like an average. This will become instantaneous at that temperature. Average velocity, instantaneous velocity, similar to that. Suppose say if it is, this is R, this is T. If the curve is like this, you want to define alpha here. So what you should do, draw a tangent. Draw a tangent here at this point. Calculate dr, calculate the slope of that. Then with that, we'll get the alpha. dr by dt into the value of R at that particular value, at that particular temperature, change in temperature. So you go for the value of R like this. So what about the delta R? Suppose say if it is a then shall I take up of now alpha? So how we measure alpha? So this alpha can be measured now. So here we'll write delta R. So the average value of delta R by R delta theta. So like this, we define the things here, that one. So it's similar to like a, or a range of temperature at that temperature. DTs will become very small now. There you calculate slope, multiply by what is the value of R, where you're calculating. This should be the value of R that you substitute. When you substitute, you'll get the alpha at this thing. So it depends upon the numerical weapon. We have to choose the particular formula. So most of numericals, no, alpha will be almost a constant, no. So we'll be sticking on to this particular thing. Go that in. So why the resistance will increase? There's a background. The thermal agitation of free electrons as well as the atoms about their mean position will increase due to thermal agitation. The amplitude of vibration will become more. The drifting electron will encounter more collisions. So because of more collisions, the resistance will increase. So that we are expressing that theoretically when we checked all the equations, finally we got here. So can I write also the in terms of rho? Yes, we can also write this as alpha equal to d rho or delta rho by rho into delta t. That's what the basic form, the first equation I brought it, no? I'll write it here only. So for a bulk of material, if you are discussing for a material, then use this formula. If you are discussing about the resistivity, use this particular formula. Both are same. Or if it is at temperature 0 degrees Celsius, the resistance will be say R naught. At any temperature, the resistance is R. Then what is the formula will be? R equal to R naught 1 plus T. If it is at temperature T1 degrees Celsius, T1 degrees Celsius, the resistance is R1. T2 degrees Celsius, resistance is R2. How do we find out? So what is R1? R1 is equal to R naught 1 plus alpha T1. What is R2 is equal to R naught 1 plus alpha T2. Is that okay? Basic thing. So R2 minus R1. R naught into so this will be R naught alpha T2 minus R naught alpha T1. So R2 minus R1 should be equal to R naught alpha T2 minus T1. I think the same very basic definition, no? Delta R is equal to R naught alpha delta T. Temperature, I'll make it capital letter. Huh? Time, again, you may get confused with the time. Okay, I guess so. There are some various ways in which some numericals can be asked here. Just quotient of thermal expansion, how we did know the similar mathematics is what will be taking LPA. I'll change everything. Capital. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, let's come. If such resistors, if I connect them, where the temperature, they're going to vary with the temperature. If I connect them in series, what conditions will come? Means though the temperature, when it varies, how to find out the effective resistance of such conductors. Okay, got this. So these are some types of small basic formulas here to remember. Okay, let's go for series parallel one, if they are brought in series. So first, so the resistance of them at R naught 1 on R naught value, right? At what happened at 0 degrees Celsius. So this should be equal to, say, some R naught at T degrees Celsius. What will happen to the resistance of both the thing will change. The effective resistance of this also will change. Let this be alpha 1. Let this be alpha 2. Alpha we assume it to be remaining constant. What will happen to effective alpha of the material? So what is that effective alpha of the material? I want expression for alpha in terms of R01, R02, alpha 1, alpha 2, and any other, like in terms of change in temperature or any other thing. How to calculate effective alpha? What is R1? You can write from here. R01, 1 plus alpha T. What is R2? R02, 1 plus alpha 2 T. What is R0? R0 should be equal to R01 plus R02, no? What is R? R should be equal to R1 plus R2. So I'll equate, no? So what is R? R is equal to R0 1 plus alpha T equal to, this will be R0 1 plus alpha T1 alpha 2. So R0 plus R0 alpha T, R0 1 plus R0 1 alpha 1 T plus R0 2 . So this R0 equal to R0 1 plus R0 2, that will cancel out. So we'll end up with R0 alpha is equal to R0 1 alpha 1 . So divided by R0. So what is further? R0 1 alpha 1, R0 2 alpha 2. What is R0 value? R0 1 plus R0 2. So individually, the resistors are having thermal coefficient. Suppose this is a copper, this is aluminum. I'll connect them in series. Then what happened to effective alpha? So when you are trying to calculate what will be the temperature of the effective resistance as I raise the temperature, the resistance of that combination will increase. So what is that effective resistance R? For that weapon, we should know what is effective alpha of this particular material. So if I want to replace these two with an equivalent resistance, what should be the alpha of that material is given by this formula. So I think now to calculate what is the effective resistance, I think I should know alpha, no? Or I should measure R1, R2, then I should add up. Or most of the information is measuring R1, R2, what will be given for us? Alpha 1, alpha 2, and the change in temperature. How to calculate the effective resistance at higher temperature. So if you know alpha, then you can come and substitute back here. Okay, got this. So when they are in series, what happens? The effective coefficient of thermal resistance of a material should be this one. If I want to replace these two with an equivalent material, with another material, what should be the alpha of that material? This is the thing. Are you able to understand what I'm discussing? I can measure R1, I can measure R2. I'll say that, okay, this is the value of R. Suppose if I can't measure R1, R2, but I know alpha 1, alpha 2, and T. And I know R01, R02. So there's a better formula I can apply. This value of alpha, I'll substitute here. Then I know R0. Then I can get the what will be the temperature at higher resistance. What resistance at higher temperature. And similarly, we'll go for parallel one. They were in series. if they are parallel. If there are not one, they are initially connected parallel and I'm going to replace it with an equivalent resistance. That is R naught. What is R naught 1? R naught 2 by R naught 1 plus R naught 2. The alpha be the quotient of thermal resistance. Alpha 1, alpha 2. So I want this particular alpha. As I raise the temperature now, as I raise the temperature, so what is the new reaction? So this will be at 3 degrees Celsius. This is 0 degrees Celsius. Similarly, what we did earlier, the similar method, what when you can follow it here. I'm giving enough picture information that the alpha in fact will be variable, but over a range of temperature, it is to be constant. So alpha is not variable. That's what we assume. If alpha variable, S, you can integrate and you can calculate all other things. So we'll assume that for most of the metals, alpha is a constant over a range of temperature. So what is range of temperature? Usually what range of temperature that will vary of order 30, 40 degrees Celsius, or even let it be 100 degrees Celsius, or that when the alpha is almost constant. It's into quotient of thermal expansion. What should be R should be equal to R1 R2 by R1 plus R2, the same formula. So I'll proceed like this. These are very, it may look very, it may look very easy for you. You check the advanced paper, no? They're giving some importance to this also. Very small topic, just 3-4 formulas are there. But if you look at the advanced paper, they're given priority for this also. In the register chapter, student will get attracted more to the finding effective resistance problem. I'm making clear. Finding out effective resistance of the materials, so some 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 resistors they'll ask you to find out the effective resistance. Students will get attracted and books also dumped more. You check the advanced paper, hardly you have anything where more than 5 resistor problems are there. They're asking all this. So totally wrong preparation students does. That's why you see the schedule, no? Many resistors, they are postponed to next week. In the next week, again, we have voltmeter, ammeter, meter bridge, all other equipments. So I suggest you like solve selected some 10 or 15 numerical, because you'll start enjoying, because no concept, nothing, just logical thinking, you feel very convenient, but there are no use for you either of exam. Mains hardly they've asked, advanced never asked till now, and they don't ask also. So sir, what should do? Some standard numericals, few you do it, 10 or 15, enough, but don't spend all week on that. Totally your preparation being gone. So gather all the information, small topics like this, work out numericals, so you'll be in better position. Okay, work out now. So what is 1 by R? I can write it as 1 by R is equal to R naught 1 plus alpha T. R naught 1, 1 plus alpha 1 T. One plus alpha 2 T. So this is one equation. What is R naught? R naught equal to this value, no? So this will be R naught 1, R naught 2 by R naught 1, R naught 2. Let me go for binomial expansion, because what is the change in temperature will be of order few tens. So therefore, so I'll go for binomial expansion. I'll send it to the numerator. Then after expanding, neglecting higher order terms. What is the value of alpha in t? The product of alpha t will be very much less than 1. Alpha t what, and the product of this will be very much less than 1. So this should be equal to 1 minus alpha 1 t r naught 1, 1 minus alpha 2 r naught 2. This is r naught, no? So some correction I'll make it. This should be r naught 1 plus r naught 2. Okay, simplify, get expression for alpha in terms of alpha 1. So this should be, I think I'll end up like this after expanding r naught 1 by r naught 2 we'll expand it. 1 minus alpha t r naught 1 alpha t 1 by r naught 1 minus alpha 1 t, or I'll write one more step. Now we can simplify. R naught 1 can be eliminated, you can see from 1 by r naught 2, 1 by r naught 2, this will eliminate it. So this will be minus of alpha t. Even alpha t also get eliminated. So minus of alpha by r naught 2 minus of alpha by r naught 1 is equal to minus of alpha 1 by r naught 1 minus alpha 2 by r naught 2. Alpha, this should be equal to r naught 1 plus r naught 2, alpha 1 r naught 2 plus alpha 2 r naught 1, or effective alpha will be okay, fine. So like this, we can find out the effective alpha. And these are the formulas, do remember. Okay, fine. So there's a mathematics. I don't think so anybody will ask you derive. The end formula become important. When they are in series parallel, how to replace with effective alpha. There's a basic concept, what happened, we are applying it. Huh? Okay, let's come for some, practically we'll see that. In general, so if you look at the conductor, let me introduce all the practically we'll analyze this. Huh? Till now what happened, I just assume that only temperature change, what happened, the change in temperature will change only the resistivity of material. But practically what will happen is, this is a length, this is the area of cross section, then this is a resistivity. So we know, now as I this is at 0 degrees Celsius. So if I rise the temperature, so what happened to resistivity will change. What happened to length? Thermal expansion should occur. Area of cross section S will change. So almost all parameters will change. No? So there are two things are there. Alpha R, coefficient of thermal resistance. Then alpha theta, coefficient of thermal expansion. Both things will come into picture. No? So can you bring expression for the change in resistance? So earlier, what discussion, we confined ourselves only to the change in the resistivity of material. And what happened? We discussed here. Now, practically, if I vary the temperature of conductor, the length will change, area of the overall the conductor will expand, it will undergo volume expansion, length, area of coaxium will change, and the resistivity also will change. So how now the change in resistance will be related on both these parameters? We have to bring an expression. So I'll proceed with the mathematics. Resistance R is equal to rho L by A. So I'll differentiate now. This will be dr. I'll give 2 minutes time. If you want, you can try it. You know enough of some mathematics, no? I'll just give 2 minutes time. Let's see that how things are related finally. If I rise the temperature, I'll vary the temperature of this conductor. The resistivity, length, area of cross-section, all will change. All three quantities are variable, no? Here. I have water, so meanwhile you will try it. Now let's differentiate this. dr is equal to L by A d rho by dt. So shall I'm varying with the temperature, no? So dt, I'll write it, plus rho A dl by dt. Capital T is the temperature. T indicates temperature. Then rho L outside. So dA by dt. So this will become minus of 1 by A square dA by dt. Let's simplify the equation. Now few things will write it. What is dl is equal to L alpha theta dt. What do you mean by dA? dA should be equal to A into 2 alpha theta dt. Then what do you mean by d rho? Rho into alpha r d theta. So let me substitute all the things. So dr by dt, L by A, and d rho by dt. D rho by dt should be rho into alpha r, rho by A, dl by dt, L alpha theta minus of rho L by A square. dA by dt should be equal to 2A alpha theta. Rho L by A alpha r, rho L by A alpha theta, rho 2 rho L by A alpha theta. So rho L A alpha r minus rho L A alpha theta. So this will be rho L by A alpha r minus alpha theta. So this is what dr by dt. Further, what is rho L by A? Should be equal to r, the resistance. Or generalized thing, delta r is equal to r into alpha r minus alpha theta into delta T. Usually alpha theta will be very much less compared to alpha. That's why in all our numericals, we didn't bother the thermal expansion of the material. I think there are these two different parameters. The overall, the parameter, we know that as you rise the temperature, the material must expand. The distance between any 2 points on a material must increase. So because of that, the resistance also must change because the dimensions will change. And what is the alpha? Alpha is something related to collision of drifting electrons with the atoms. So that the phenomena totally are two different here. This is something alpha theta corresponds for what? Change in the distance between any 2 points of a conductor. It will show that particular effect is what we are reflecting here. What is alpha? Alpha is something about the collision of the drifting electrons with the atoms. When we compare both, practically when I check it, no, the alpha theta will be very much less compared to alpha. That's why in all our resistor problems, we didn't bother to consider the changing dimensions of the conductor due to change in temperature. Because when you are measuring the change in resistance, alpha theta, practically it will be very much less than R. That's why. So we started our discussion with only the alpha R, that one. Are you getting the idea now? So why we didn't bother? If you know, sir, I want to consider, then bring the problem like this. Then bring this equation. So if you're considering even the thermal expansion of the material also, this should be the formula. Without thermal expansion of material, delta R equal to R alpha R delta T. Okay, this is about. So now what is alpha for a metal? So this is called a coefficient of temperature coefficient of resistance. And this alpha will be positive for metals, for most of the metals like copper, aluminum, all. And alpha will be negative for some materials like thermistors, semiconductors. There, what will happen for alpha? Why alpha positive? Any reason what we can give? As you rise the temperature, then what will happen? The collision of the drifting electrons with the atoms what will increase because of more number of collisions, more resistance is applied to the flow of charge. That's why the resistance increases. Therefore, the alpha is positive. For some metals, for some like even semiconductor also is a metal only. We'll call this a semiconductor rather than conductor, like a germanium. Example of semiconductor, germanium, silicon, gallium arsenide, all these are called as semiconductor materials. A good example of that is germanium and silicon, I'm telling. As you increase temperature, what actually happens in this material? As you increase temperature, the resistance will decrease. That's why the alpha for them will be negative. So how you have to show alpha? Now the rho is going to be decreasing quantity. Here the rho was increasing with the temperature, no, the rho will be decreasing. The graph for these two will be in detail in semiconductors we are going to learn. Time being, I'm just giving information. They are called as thermistors is there. So as we discussed like this was the some rough graph I'm giving it here. As you increase temperature, the resistance will decrease. Any reason for that? As you increase temperature, the concentration of free electrons will increase. In case of conductor, the free electrons, the concentration will be very less, very small change will come, very small increment will come, but the tau will dominate. The tau will decrease. Because of that, the rho was increasing. This is what happens in conductors. In case of semiconductor germanium, the tau, what happened? The eta will dominate. Eta will increase by large amount. So the resistivity will decrease. So can you remember rho equal to, we brought ME by, I'm just discussing all the concept, like what all we discussed, no? I'm just analyzing with the help of this one only. In case of metals, the effect of eta is almost negligible. The tau decreases, that's why rho increases. This is what happens here. In case of the semiconductors, the tau, though it changes, but it will have a negligible effect. But the eta output will increase by large amount. The rho will decrease. The conductivity what happen itself will increase here. So or better call eta here. The charge conductors, the number of charge carriers will increase in case of thermistors. So they'll have negative temperature quotient of resistance. Okay, fine. So there's about some theoretical questions that are asked even in SCRM also. You are supposed to remember this data also. This is something very important both in NCERT, even in SCRM, he has stressed it. I'll just close it, just you remember some database problems similar to like thermal expansion. We'll go for next hour, the application problems here. How to find out the resistivity of different shaped conductors. Different shaped conductors means like already we have discussed some cylindrical and tapered rod, no? So let me go for, and also thick sphere also we have discussed it. So let me give an example one more. This is, though it's a mathematics based, but if you check the books or even in the advanced exam, they're given priority for this mass based concept.